Alright, so boom. We've seen how a poppin' rapper will think just because they got listeners and viewers and fans that they can just tell us about an artist that they know and that person will blow up just from the cosign. And that does not always happen. And I decided to make a video about it. This video will include artists who were either rappers themselves or there were singers who were put on by rappers. And for whatever reason, these people's careers either never blew up or they was only hot for a while thanks to a song or two, and then people quickly stopped caring about them afterwards. But who y'all should be caring about is Mr. LaShawn. He's a rapper and a producer, and here's one of his best beats that he made titled 2 a.m. in Houston.
Hold on, Mr. LaShawn, you made this?
Follow Mr. LaShawn on his YouTube channel, SoundCloud, and Instagram. Get tapped into some beats if you want to hear some nice production. Now, let me show y'all who are some artists whose careers went nowhere even after a famous rapper tried putting them on. We can damn near say everybody in SOD Money Gang should be on this list. Everybody from the main two people that were known for being in the clique, A-Rap and Jabbar, they never blew up either. Jabbar is still out here making music for some reason. He also goes by his name, Justin Benjamin, and his numbers are actually pretty good on his songs. He be getting a smooth 600 views a year. Yeah, man, 600 views a year, like he still got the streets on fire. A-Rap, I have no idea what he's up to, and honestly, I do not want to know. Another person that Soulja tried to put on that didn't go anywhere is not even one person. It's a whole rap group, and that was the Showstoppers. They had their own song called Whoop Rico. That was a hood anthem where they was from, but they met Soulja and he pretty much Soulja-fied the song when he shouted the group out, helping them make an official music video for Whoop Rico and all.
EZ Mil and Eminem. I present to you
The Showstoppers have been gone on to say why Soulja is a shiesty person and why they don't like him. But to talk about the person that this entry is about, this is a man that I guarantee most of y'all have never heard of. And that's Soulja Boy from Georgia. First of all, y'all can just look at this man and completely see that he's a Soulja Boy ripoff. Extremely skinny and bony as hell, covered in tattoos, and unsurprisingly, whack music. Now, on a local level, Soulja Boy was a little known where he was, already having his earlier tracks, whether with his homies or by himself. There's one song that he was on from back in 2008 called Shawty Dare the Truth, and I swear, this is the most 2000s ATL shit you can come across. If you was around during this time, you heard a few songs that sounded like this. He would continue with music over the years. I found another song he made in 2012 called Bet I Smash Her. And do y'all think this sound fire? Cause I sure as hell didn't like that. But who knows, man, y'all may think I'm bugging. But another thing that happened in 2012, Soulja Boy dropped a song with the one, the only, King Soulja himself, called Boy Who. When this song dropped and for the months following, Soulja Boy was waving the SOD money flag so tough, thanking Soulja Boy for giving him an opportunity, Soulja himself saying, check out my new artist, he's next up, he gonna have the streets on fire, all of that. Soulja Boy's voice is not even a gimmick, that's actually how he sounds. Trying to play like me, boy, gotta chill like me, boy. This song is 5 minutes long, by the way. It does not need to be this fucking long. But even on this very track, Soulja Boy said how Soulja Boy was next up. Hit the Molly, you know I gotta flex. SOD boy, thumbing through the check. Soulja Boy, Soulja Boy up next. Talking down boy, I hit him with the flex. And because this is Soulja Boy we're talking about, you already know he has some garbage ass lines in his verse.
Whoa, I'm on fire, like I'm standing in a fireplace.
Y'all be talking about how P. Diddy be ruining people's careers, yet there's an entire rabbit hole to go down to find out the people Soulja Boy has screwed over. That man is literally horrible at putting on new artists, and I guarantee that not only have some of you not heard of Soulja Boy before this video, you're not going to hear about him after this video either. He still be out here releasing music too. He be pulling them Justin Benjamin numbers, so if you want to hear more Soulja Boy after this so that his career can finally pop off, y'all should check him out. I did find his website that had a review of an EP Soulja Boy made in 2021 called I Really Rap Part 2, and I damn near lost it when the first sentence of the second paragraph was, "For those who've lived under a rock, Soulja Boy is a rapper who came to the forefront of popularity as a teenage rapper in the early 2000s. Those first 7 words had me laughing so hard. They talking like this nigga was Bow Wow or something. I think Soulja Boy himself wrote this. Listen, to everybody that's watching this video, I promise you, if you've never heard of Soulja Boy, you are not living under a rock, a pebble, a stone, a boulder, nothing. It's very possible to live on Earth for many years and never hear about this dude. So I don't know why this website said this.
Look at y'all man, it don't flexed up. Look at y'all man, it don't flexed up.
Now I know for sure some of y'all haven't heard about this man in a minute. When YB and Amiri and the whole clique was first coming up back in 2017, 2018, in every music video you would see this kid in the background. Rubbing off the paint, chopsticks, without fail, this dude was there. YB and Manny has literally always been that nigga that be in the background of all of YB and Amiri's videos. And then in September 2018, on Worldstar, YB and Manny dropped his song, Manned Up. Immediately the conversation around this song was, this dude making his own music now? Other YBN members were promoting the song on social media, telling listeners to check it out. To this day, one of the top comments on this music video is, when the side character gets his own episode. But admittedly, Manned Up is a smooth little song, man. I ain't mad at it. I actually think it's a cool little track. The beat certainly adds to the nice ass chill vibe that it has.
Run off with a P, I'ma stretch you. Do your S5 when I catch you. Look at y'all man, it don't flexed up.
But one thing I don't know if any of the YBN members knew at the time is if this would be Manny's only song. Because after Manned Up, this kid has not made another song since. Because of the YBN crew's unthreatening look and demeanor and how they got together from playing Grand Theft Auto online, people still don't take them seriously. Another one of the top comments from this song being that the reason why Manny hasn't dropped since then is because his mom put him on punishment and he's been grounded for the past 4 years. I heard Buddy stopped dropping because he was locked up, but I couldn't find out what he was locked up for. I saw everything from trespassing to wielding a firearm to being caught with marijuana with intent to distribute. He probably got locked up even before this song came out because he has lines in this song about being in jail. From that east side to that Bama, spent plenty of nights in that slammer. And other ones like, her boyfriend can't stand us, till that broke boy get his bands up. Funny guy, you should do stand up. Gotta grind for all the times I was jammed up. So who knows, cause that was years ago. He's been free for a while now and he still hasn't dropped. And admittedly, I don't think a single person even cares that he hasn't dropped anything since Manned Up. Although the song was smooth and all, dude could legit go the rest of his life without releasing a single and most of us would be fine.
They call me EZ, you know single the I, then you double the Z, then you single the Y.
The first artist signed to Nick Cannon's Can I Ball Records. And yes, Nick Cannon had his own record label at one point. He ended up creating a different label in 2011 called Incredible. But in the mid 2000s, there was Can I Ball Records. And the first person that Nick Cannon signed to this label was Izzy Battle from Washington, D.C. Nick was pushing this kid heavy. Every performance Nick had, Izzy would be there. In interviews, he would shout out Izzy and they would appear on each other's songs. The earlier seasons of Wildin' Out, Izzy was on there once. During Nick's concerts, yes, Nick was performing at concerts, Izzy would be there. There was even a time where Nick Cannon would do commercials for Boost Mobile. Hello? And in one of them, Izzy was with him. So y'all see what I mean. Nick was trying to put the world onto this kid, and yet nothing came of it.
Along with another artist from his new video. Y'all give it up right now for Izzy.
Yeah, y'all, Izzy.
What's up, CRO?
My first artist off my Can I Ball label / Motown. He's doing it big.
I like it.
Y'all gonna love him.
I like it.
The first time I myself heard of Izzy was on one of the few songs I even liked from Nick Cannon called Dime Piece. I've talked about this song a couple of times on my channel before. Izzy has the second verse, and when Nick even introduces Izzy on this song, he's hyping him up to the moon. Yo, I'm about to bring my man to the mic, Mr. Nation's Capital. He's spectacular, phenomenal. We call him Izzy, the new prince. Izzy's verse on this song was fine. It just screams mid 2000s I'm fly type of swag that niggas was doing back then. Where all my ladies that single tonight at the strip club got me throwing singles tonight. This beat poison, I'm IV on the mic. What them dimes say when IZ is on the mic? He had his own song that was produced by Jazzy Faye, ladies and gentlemen, called Talking About, and this song is boring as hell to me.
ACG's all black. Now I'm talking about hit them all and ball with a stack. Now I'm talking about.
I guess this is what you people from DC was listening to at the time, but this song is not entertaining. It's to the point where I think on the Wild 'N Out episode where Izzy was the music artist, Nick forced his fellow Wild 'N Out members to cheer for Izzy. There's no way all these people thought this was fire.
See me with a DC hat. Now I'm talking about fresh North Face on my back. Now I'm talking about.
Now mind you, everything that I just talked about happened in the mid to late 2000s. So at this point, it's been 15 years. And for some of us, we haven't heard of Izzy Battle since. And for the rest of you, like 99% of y'all, y'all haven't heard of this nigga at all. I could not find any information on Izzy Battle either. This dude is pretty much a ghost now. I don't think he even acknowledges this portion of his life. I don't know if he still even makes music. I couldn't find a YouTube account or a SoundCloud account. Do y'all want to know what website I had to go to in order to find Izzy's music? MySpace. I had to log into my MySpace account from 04 in order to get access to this shit. This Nick Cannon entry just made me realize that you have to be a well-respected popping artist yourself before you try to put somebody else on. Because Nick Cannon is more so known for being a TV personality, a businessman, and shooting up multiple different clubs every year, most people don't even care about his music and never have cared about his music. So for him to say, hey everybody, check out my new artist, he's fresh, he's hot, y'all gonna fuck with him. It's like, we gonna fuck with him, we don't even fuck with you, so how does that work?
Disturbing the peace. Sharif is another one.
There's two women that I could throw in this one entry because they was both part of Ludacris's Disturbing the Peace label. Sharifa was one, and the other was a female rapper named Shauna. They were the only two female artists on the label, and the reason I'm not putting Shauna in this entry is because she was actually more popular than Sharifa. Shauna had her single Getting Some Head, if y'all remember that. I made a video called Rap Songs I Was Too Young to Be Listening To, and I put Getting Some on that list. I was like 11 years old and I knew the words to that song. So inappropriate. But Shauna dropped two albums, Worth the Wait and Block Music, that both hit the Billboard 200. And the song Getting Some is a platinum record, peaking at 31 on the Billboard 100 songs chart. None of that can be said about Sharifa though. There was a time for a couple of months, people was like, no, who is this Sharifa woman? She's hot. But that time period died down very quickly, and Sharifa has not seen the same amount of success since then. Sharifa's first and only hit song was the track I Need a Boss, which unsurprisingly had Ludacris on it. And 3 months after dropping this track, she followed up with her album Point of No Return. She released a second single for the project called Cry No More that performed nowhere near as well as I Need a Boss. And after these two songs fell out the rotation and her Point of No Return album didn't move any units, Sharifa fell out of view for most people. Ever since the late 2000s, Sharifa has put out a few songs, even a track during the pandemic year called I'm Okay. But due to the lack of a hot record label backing her up and no other projects from her, other than her 2010 mixtape, The Misunderstanding of Sharifa, if we're being honest, I Need a Boss is the only song that people know her for. She's more of an R&B artist anyway. If you check out her music, she's a really great singer. She just couldn't move the people after I Need a Boss came out. Sharifa says that her relationship with Ludacris and the rest of the DTP is in good standing. She's not one of those artists that feels her record label hold her and now she forever holds a grudge against everyone. If she did have some dirt on Ludacris, I wouldn't even be surprised because Luda has stepped on a few people's toes to get to where he's at. There's videos out there about how he did people dirty like Field Mob, DJ, and even the aforementioned Shauna. Luda's 8th album, Battle of the Sexes, was supposed to be a collab album with Shauna. That's where the title, cover art, and the whole idea comes from. But Shauna ended up having a falling out with Disturbing the Peace, and then she was removed from most of the project, so it just became a Ludacris album instead. But either way, back to Sharifa. She's a great singer, but the fact is, after I Need a Boss, most people haven't heard from her since, and no one is checking for her either.
you to the candy shop. Yeah. Boy, one taste of what I got.
Fifth cop the Phantom, and I hopped in a Phantom, and they ain't hopped in a Phantom, and they hopped in they Saturn.
And since we're talking about singers who try to get put on by rappers, let's first talk about Olivia, who was a member of G-Unit. Now, before her time with G-Unit, she was on the now defunct record label J Records, where she released her self-titled album Olivia and got a hit song from it titled Biz Ounce. But after her second single, Are You Capable, flopped and her album flopped as a whole, Olivia was dropped from J Records, and soon after she found herself signed to 50. And when Olivia got to G-Unit, for most people this is the first and only time they heard about her, due to her being featured on multiple songs with 50, including the classic Candy Shop, the song So Amazing. I actually really like the hook on So Amazing. And the song Best Friend, which I'm not even about to play because that's always been one of 50's most overrated songs to me. His singing was garbage on there. So once Olivia became touted as the first lady of G-Unit, things was looking up for her, but it certainly went downhill as the years went on, and she ended up separating from G-Unit after being there for 3 years. Olivia has given her own response to leaving G-Unit. In an interview with Hip Hop DX, she mentioned how she was more of a singer, and obviously G-Unit is a mecca for dudes that's all from the streets, so that alone was a misplacement. But she also mentioned that, quote, I was looked at as the person who kept doing the hooks and people wasn't looking at me as a solo artist. So even from her own words, she don't think people took her seriously as her own artist. She was just getting looked at as that girl that always be on the hooks for the G-Unit records. She was able to drop some singles for her second album, Behind Closed Doors, titled Twisted featuring Lloyd Banks, and a solo song called So Sexy. But they were both moderate hits that didn't do that well, and her second album was shelved. Her music not performing well is exactly where 50's comments on her departure from G-Unit comes in. 50 has stated that he felt like putting money into Olivia's career wasn't getting anywhere. One of the reasons being that because she's a female artist, all of the expenses that women need to look good was adding up. Everything from Olivia's clothing to her makeup to her hair. 50 states that he spent about $2 million on Olivia alone. But because her music wasn't popping and he wasn't seeing a profitable return from his investments in her, that was a big reason why he let her go. Since leaving G-Unit in 07, Olivia has still been releasing singles and doing some features here and there, but to nobody who's watching this video's surprise, she has not even as much as sniffed a hit song since. Not as a discredit to her skill though. Just like Sharifa, these women have beautiful voices and can sing, but from a marketing standpoint and dealing with the politics of music, a lot of people just don't make it. And even if they have 1 or 2 hit songs, you never really hear from them again. And she was also on Love and Hip Hop as well. And as we all know, once you decide to dive into reality TV like Love and Hip Hop, that's you putting your own nail in the coffin of your music career. That's a show for hip hop has-beens pretty much. Last but not least, we have Hot Rod. Shout out to the homie It's Aaron speaking. He did a 3-hour documentary on 50 Cent's career, and I watched every second of that video. It's a great watch, and during that video, he brought up Hot Rod. So complete credit to Aaron for this entry right here. Hot Rod was another artist on G-Unit signed through Interscope, but this nigga right here, Hot Rod wasn't even on the label for a whole year. He made his grand entrance and his grand exit both in 2006. Interscope honestly wasted no time getting rid of his ass. 50 found Hot Rod because he heard one of Rod's tapes and was impressed by his flow, and 50 said it reminded him of his own flow. Funny enough, if this story came out today, people would call Hot Rod an industry plant, because how he even got in touch with 50 was that 50 randomly came across one of his tapes that Hot Rod will always send to the label. And after 50 heard it and liked it, he called Hot Rod himself. He told Hot Rod he wanted him to be a member of G-Unit. He flew him out to a mansion to stay in for a few months and everything. All from hearing a random ass demo. While he was on the label, Hot Rod dropped a single in the summer of 2006 with Mary J. Blige called Be Easy. And that song went nowhere. I'm telling you, I can drop a song and I can sell more units than what this got.
Oh, baby, be easy. You better take what you can get, 'cause right now I'm all messed up.
After the failure of Be Easy, Hot Rod was released from Interscope later in 2006. But unfortunately for him, 50 still believed in him and wanted Hot Rod to make it. So what 50 did was bring Hot Rod on the road with him as his hype man. Unfortunately, there was something that happened that was completely Hot Rod's fault. It had nothing to do with shady business tactics or messed up record executives, none of that. The blunder that this man did was all on him. He forgot the words to 50 Cent's Wanksta while they was performing it on stage one night. Not only just messing up the song, he was messing up on the hook, the easiest part of the song to remember. To the point where even 50 had to look at him like, bro, what is going on with you? And then he kicked Hot Rod off stage. I'ma link Aaron's documentary in the description and the pinned comment. Y'all have to see what I'm talking about. But after that blunder, yeah, Hot Rod was done for. He released 5 mixtapes in between 2007 and 2011, and at one point he even completely changed his image from a street rapper to more of a pop artist who made electronic and club records. And as y'all can probably guess, none of that ever picked up for him. 50 Cent gave us the Young Bucks and the Lloyd Banks and the Games and such, but when it comes to the Olivias and the Hot Rods of the world, that just shows that not everybody you try to put on is going to be a hit.
Alto, alto, alto.